What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'll be doing a reaction video to Effect coming out and telling the truth about how he is bisexual. And don't worry, there's no hate at all in this video. I'm actually supporting Effect 100% through this. I'm glad he decided to go out and do this. I want to start off the video by saying that. I'm very, very proud of you, Effect. I know something like this was probably ridiculously hard for you. I can't exactly relate because I am a straight man. I've never had to go out and do something like this, but I can't even imagine all the stress and anxiety that this man was holding in him because he was just so nervous to tell everybody about the truth. And even though the United States, especially in this day and age, is very accepting of what you are, it doesn't matter whether you're gay, straight, or anything else, everyone's usually very supportive of you. Obviously, there are those haters, there are those anti-gay people, and obviously, Effect's haters are going to use stuff like this to their advantage, but I think Effect knows very well that he had to get this out. There's no way he could continue to let this eat away at him. And I'm not sure how it is down in South Korea because obviously that's where he's from. I'm sure that their standards are a little bit different, but I did do some research and it's not illegal or anything to be gay or to have a different preference other than being straight. But obviously, I'm sure that there are a lot of more haters down there in South Korea, and Effect even talked about how his parents aren't exactly happy with him for making this decision, but honestly, who cares? He has to do what he wants to do, right? It doesn't matter what other people think of him. He has to do what makes him happy. So now I thought I'd read off what Effect said himself on his Twitter. Here is a translation. I'll put it up on the screen right now. So, and I quote, "It is true that I am bisexual. I've been hiding it since young and never even showed a hint to anyone except my family. Even they got mad. I'm finally putting down this burden after the hard time of hiding. Sorry for causing the confusion with such a sudden announcement." You have to have a lot of courage and you have to be super brave to put a tweet like this out there when you're a really good player that's super popular. It's not like Effect is some scrub player on an unpopular team like the Mayhem. He's on the Dallas Fuel and he's a superstar level DPS player. So needless to say, he has a pretty big following both in the United States and in South Korea. So there's going to be a lot of fans who may have differing opinions on him now that he has done this. I'm not so sure about South Korea, but I know for a fact that here in the United States, most people are going to support Effect 100%. Like, I guarantee you at least 95% of people who find out about this are going to be happy for Effect and will continue to support him. And what's great is there are other people like him in this community that have come out and have a different sexuality other than straight. You have Muma, right? There's also Elk, who just came up from Fusion University. He is now on the Philly Fusion. There's plenty of people for Effect to go talk to because there's other people that have experienced this type of thing, right? And we know very well that Muma is very open because on stream he even talked about how he loves Effect. He's one of his favorite players. He's always going to be there for the guy, and I think that's so wonderful. But then there's other guys like Jake from the Houston Outlaws that are coming out and saying, "I support you, Effect," and I'm sure that makes him feel very good and very welcomed. Like, he has a place where he belongs and people aren't going to hate him for the decisions he's made. I'm very happy that Effect decided to open up because I feel like my eyes have been opened now. I feel like the truth is just so much more clear. I know exactly why Effect was struggling so bad with his mental condition now and why he ended up not even playing during Stage 4 of last year's season. So first off, we know how hard Effect works, right? He's probably the hardest worker in the entire league. The dude was motivated to be one of the best players in the league, and he was. He also wanted the Dallas Fuel to be one of the best teams in the Overwatch League, but that didn't go the way he wanted it to, right? Even though he worked so hard, there were no results to be shown because the Dallas Fuel were terrible. They lost almost all of their games while he was playing, right? They were just not a very good team, and it also helps there was a lot of drama going around the organization with their coach Kai, there was Taimu, and then the whole thing with XQC. It was just a big disaster, right? So that was definitely step number one in Effect's mental stages going way downhill. The dude worked harder than anybody else in the entire league, and his team was still terrible. I can't even begin to imagine how frustrating that is, and how angry he was, and just having all this anxiety and fear that his team would continue to lose games even though he put in all of this work. So while Effect was dealing with these negative emotions in Overwatch, outside of the game he also was dealing with some pretty bad feelings too because of his ex-girlfriend, and I can't relate to Effect because I've never been in a relationship before, but based off of what I've heard from friends and family who have been in relationships, there are times where there are some really rough stretches and it can leave you feeling mentally drained. And the dude was already feeling mentally drained, right? The guy was already dealing with all the stress and anxiety from Overwatch, and now you can kind of double that because his girlfriend was also giving him the same feelings. I'm sure at this point, Effect was starting to feel very hopeless because there was just nowhere for him to go, right? If he wanted to play Overwatch, that would make him feel upset because of all the drama with the fuel, and if he wanted to get away from Overwatch and spend time with his girlfriend, she would also just bring all these negative emotions with arguments and all that stuff that comes with being in relationships, so it was just a lose-lose situation for Effect. But then, to add on to all of the stress and anxiety the guy was already feeling to begin with, he was also struggling within himself because he didn't know whether or not he wanted to reveal to the world that he is bisexual. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that, so I'm sure at this point, his mind was just an absolute mess, and it's completely understandable why he needed to get away from the game, get away from some of the things that stressed him out, and just relax in South Korea and clear his thoughts. Effect also made a 2019 letter to himself. It's kind of like a year in review of how 2018 was really rough for him and how there were a lot of struggles. He also talks about what he wants to do differently in this upcoming year, how he wants to be a better teammate, etc., etc. And it is kind of long, and I feel like the video will be a couple of minutes longer if I just sit here and read the whole thing out. So I'll put it up on the screen. You can pause it and read it for yourself. And also, I'll leave a link in the description if you don't feel like doing that. And that's everything I really wanted to say about this Effect situation. And one more time before I start to close things out, I wanted to say that I am very proud of the guy. I'm sure this was one of the hardest decisions of his entire life, if not the toughest one. Because even though I can't relate, I'm sure that doing something like this is so hard. But now Effect's on the road to recovery in 2019. It's a new him. He has a new identity, and he can move on from the past. He can learn from his experiences and become a stronger person as a result. There's no need for Effect to hide behind a mask any longer. He can finally embrace who he is as a person, and he can be more comfortable in his skin as a result. And that's just about it. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing and clicking the bell icon so you don't miss when my next Overwatch League discussion video goes up. And don't forget to tell me how you feel about Effect down in the comment section and him making this very brave decision. And before I close things out, I just wanted to say to all of you who celebrate Christmas, have a Merry Christmas, guys. Be happy, be safe, spend time with your friends and family. Just chill with the time off you've got. But again, be safe. I can't embrace that enough. Don't do anything risky. Don't drink and drive or anything crazy like that. And if you don't celebrate Christmas or any other holiday that comes around this time of year, again, if you have time off, just be safe, relax, and be happy. Spend some time with people that you care about. My family and I celebrate Christmas, so for the next few days I probably won't be making any content, but don't worry, I will be back sooner than later. Hopefully around the 26th or 27th there will be some new videos up. Can't make any promises, but for now I'm going to just recharge my batteries, relax, and enjoy my life alongside my family and friends. I hope you all do the same, and until next time, this is ATP signing out. Peace.